Are you the woman everyone counts on? The first to volunteer? The one who organizes the group gift? The last to ask for anything back? Then let me ask you this. Why is your bank account always struggling? Major research from institutions like UCL and Columbia Business School has pulled back the curtain on the shocking financial cost of your agreeable personality, and for many women, it's a direct path to debt. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly why being too nice is keeping you broke and what you can start doing about it today. The shocking truth about your nice personality. From the moment we're little girls, we're taught to be nice, be accommodating, be a peacemaker, be helpful, be agreeable. It's the golden rule, the bedrock of our relationships, and the key to being liked. And all of that is true. But what if that same trait, that deep-seated impulse to be agreeable, was also systematically sabotaging your financial future? You might think you know why. You're probably thinking, it's because I don't negotiate my salary, or I always offer to cover my friend. And while those things don't help, they're just symptoms. The real problem is deeper, more surprising, and frankly more dangerous. A huge body of research analyzing data from millions of people has painted a crystal clear picture of the link between personality and financial health. What it uncovered is a game changer. Researchers consistently find that highly agreeable people, the nice ones, are at a significantly higher risk for financial hardship. We're talking lower savings, higher debt, and even higher rates of default and bankruptcy. But here's the twist that changes everything. It isn't because nice people are just pushovers. The research found the real driver is that agreeable people, by their very nature, place a lower value on money. They don't prioritize it as highly as they prioritize social harmony, positive relationships, and simply being seen as a good person. Think about that for a second. Your financial struggles might be happening not because you're bad with money, but because deep down, you've been conditioned to believe that focusing on money isn't what good women do. This creates a massive blind spot, causing you to make poor financial choices without even realizing it. It's not about being a bad negotiator. It's about not valuing money enough to even start the negotiation. This is the core issue we have to fix. The 3 financial traps of the agreeable woman. So how does this psychological quirk, this devaluing of money, actually drain your bank account in the real world? It sets a series of invisible traps that the agreeable woman walks into over and over again. Let's break down the 3 biggest ones. Trap 1, the debt spiral. You don't see the danger. For someone who isn't highly agreeable, a rising credit card balance or a shrinking savings account triggers alarms. For the agreeable woman, that alarm is much quieter. Because you place a lower value on money, financial red flags just don't feel as threatening. This leads directly to a pattern of money mismanagement. You're less likely to budget because it feels tedious compared to making a friend happy. You rack up credit card debt by constantly saying yes to brunches, baby showers, and weekend trips you can't afford, because the fear of letting people down feels stronger than the fear of that interest payment. This is why study after study finds a direct link between agreeableness and higher levels of debt. It's the classic, I'll deal with it later mindset, but aimed squarely at your finances. The immediate reward of social harmony, being the generous friend or the easygoing partner, feels much more valuable than the distant, abstract pain of future debt. You don't see the danger until you're already caught in the spiral. Trap 2, the low-income amplifier. Your kindness has no safety net. Here's where it gets devastating. The research is clear. The negative financial consequences of being agreeable are massively amplified for people with lower incomes. Think about it. A wealthy person can afford to be agreeable. They can lend a friend thousands of dollars and not sweat it. They can overspend on gifts or not negotiate a contract perfectly because their high income is a giant financial cushion. Their agreeableness is a luxury. But for a woman on a low or middle income, there is no cushion. For you, that same agreeable impulse is catastrophic. Lending a friend $200 when you have bills due isn't just a kind gesture. It's a direct threat to your stability. Not charging a client for that quick revision isn't being nice. It's taking food off your own table. Your financial margin for error is razor thin, and your agreeable personality constantly pushes you over the edge. Research confirms that when money is tight, a kind and cooperative nature, without a strong sense of financial self-preservation, becomes a direct path to financial ruin. Trap 3. The good girl. Guilt. You confuse financial prudence with being mean. This final trap is all about the story you tell yourself. At your core, your identity is tied to being seen as good, kind, and cooperative. As a result, you've learned to associate any act of financial self-interest with being a bad person. You feel a pang of guilt when you think about charging what you're truly worth, because a little voice says, "They'll think I'm greedy or difficult." You feel sick asking a friend to pay you back, because that voice whispers, "You're going to ruin the friendship over a little money." When splitting a bill, you're the first to say, "Oh, don't worry about it," because the thought of being seen as petty is unbearable. This is a toxic mental connection. You've been conditioned to believe that setting financial boundaries is selfish, that asking for what you're owed is unkind, that prioritizing your own financial health is aggressive or mean. The truth is, you're being a good person to everyone except the woman you're working so hard to become. The solution: from people pleaser to strategically kind. Let's get one thing straight. The solution is not to become a jerk. It's not to stop being kind, nurturing, or generous. Those qualities are superpowers when you learn to wield them correctly. Kindness builds trust, fosters incredible relationships, and creates a reputation that opens doors. The goal isn't to kill your agreeableness, but to pair it with financial intelligence, to become strategically kind. It's about being a good woman who is also good with money. Here's how you start. Solution 1. Outsource your decisions to a financial rulebook. Agreeable people struggle with financial decisions in the moment because emotions and the desire for social harmony hijack their logic. The fix? Make the decision before the emotion shows up. You do this by creating a personal financial rulebook. This is a simple set of non-negotiable rules for your money. It outsources the decision, so you're no longer the mean one saying no. You're simply following your policy. Your rulebook could include, "My policy is, I do not lend any amount of money that I'm not 100% willing to give as a gift. For any freelance project, my rule is to get a 50% deposit up front. It's just my standard procedure. I have a 24-hour waiting period for any non-essential purchase over $100. My budget for group dinners is X per month, so I always ask to split the bill based on what each person ordered." Now, when someone asks for a loan you can't afford, you can say, "I wish I could help, but I have a personal policy not to lend money. It's how I keep my finances and my friendships healthy." It's no longer a personal rejection. It's a protocol. This is a game changer. Build your no muscle with low-stakes practice. You can't go from a lifelong people pleaser to a master negotiator overnight. You need to train that assertiveness muscle. The best way is to practice in low-stakes situations where the social risk is almost zero. Start small. The next time a barista gets your coffee wrong, politely point it out. If a casual acquaintance asks you to take on a task you don't have time for, practice saying, "I'm sorry, but my schedule is packed." If friends want to go to a restaurant that's out of your budget, be the one to suggest, "That place is a bit pricey for me this month. How about we check out that amazing new spot I heard about instead?" Each small boundary you set builds confidence. It teaches your brain that it's okay to state your needs and that the world doesn't end when you do. You're building the psychological strength you'll need for the big financial conversations down the line. Redefine money as a tool for good. This final step goes to the root of the problem, the fact that you devalue money. You need to consciously change your relationship with it. Stop seeing money as something greedy or unfeminine to focus on. Start reframing money for what it is, a tool. A tool that, in the hands of a good person like you, can be used for incredible good. Money is the tool that gives you the security to leave a toxic relationship or a dead-end job. Money is the tool that allows you to provide a safe home for your family. Money is the tool that gives you the freedom to invest in your daughter's education or to care for a sick parent. And most importantly, for an agreeable woman, having your own finances in order gives you the capacity to be truly generous, not foolishly generous. You can donate to causes you care about and help others from a place of abundance, not from a place of scarcity that puts your own survival at risk. You have to value money not for its own sake, but for the freedom and safety it provides and the good it can do. When you start to see money as a powerful tool for positive change, you'll finally treat it with the respect it deserves. For your entire life, you've probably felt that being a good woman and being wealthy were opposing forces. And the research shows that for many, they are. But it doesn't have to be your reality. The problem isn't your kindness. The problem is the blind spot it creates. The tendency to devalue money to the point of self-sabotage. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to become a more aware version of the woman you already are. Your kindness and your desire to help others. These are your greatest strengths. But a strength without boundaries is a liability. You can be the woman everyone loves and the woman who respects her own financial future. You don't have to choose. It is time to stop letting your agreeableness lead you into debt and start using your good nature to build a life of security, freedom, and true abundance. And let me know in the comments, what's the one people-pleasing habit that has cost you the most? Let's talk about it.